Hi people, welcome to your first grammar lesson video through YouTube. Today, I will be sharing with you the following topic: verb plus direct object and indirect object. In this opportunity, I'll be giving you the specific way to identify the direct and indirect object. So first of all, it's important to know what a direct object means. In a sentence, the object that receives the action of a verb is called direct object. So every type of sentence, if it is compound or not, will have a direct object inside. To identify them, we are going to know what are the ways that we can use to identify those. What to know? It's important to identify the parts of the sentences correctly. As we may know, the parts of the sentences, the two main parts are the subject and the predicate. But it's also important that inside the predicate we could identify which are the rest of the parts regarding verbs, prepositions, and so on. The example here says Mary cooks a meal for you, in which Mary comes to be our subject, cooks our verb, a meal for you is going to be our complement. So we are going to check now how is the way to identify the direct object. If we ask this question, what or whom, is going to be the best way to ask the verb, what is the direct object. Talking about this, we are going to check the following example. If we ask the verb, the question what to the verb, or the question whom to the verb, we may be getting our answer from direct object. The first example says, the doctor had my mother waiting for a long time. If we identify here first our subject, we're going to find that is the doctor. Then the verb comes to be had, which is the past tense for the verb have. After it, my mother, waiting for a long time, comes to be part of the predicate, our complement. By asking the question, what did the doctor, we are not getting an answer. But if we ask to the verb the question whom had the doctor waiting for a long time, then the answer we may be getting is our mother. So that's my mother comes to be, that's why my mother comes to be the direct object. In this case, I underline with color yellow my mother. All students failed the final exam is going to be the example number 2. Asking the question, what did the student fail, which comes to be as an answer the final exam, then give us the result of what is the direct object in this sentence. So if you ask the question, what did the students fail, the answer may be the final exam. Now, after getting to know how to identify the direct object, it is also important to understand how to identify the indirect object in the sentences. Talking about this, we're going to use then the question to whom. So instead of using what or whom, we're asking the question to whom, to the verb, to get the indirect object. The examples that we are going to be facing here are two. I can lend you the book, and the second one says Bob should write her mom a letter. The first question says I can lend you the book. In this one, the subject comes to be I, the verb can lend, and then you, the book, comes to be part of the predicate. If we ask the question to whom, to our verb, which is lend, then we're going to get that the answer must be you. Then Bob should write her mom a letter. If we ask the question to whom did he write the letter, the answer is going to be her mom. The following practice is involving both of them to identify the direct object and the indirect object. In this case, we have Mark gave Daniel a candy. The second one, John took Bob's book. And the third one, I wrote a letter to my dad. Identifying the subjects, in the first one Mark, in the second one John, and in the third one I. Then the verbs gave in the first one, took in the second one, and in the third one we have wrote. Remember that by asking the question what to the verb, we're going to find what is the direct object. So if we ask the question, what to get in the first one, we are going to have the direct object, which is in color yellow, candy. And if we ask the question to whom, to the verb in the number 1, we are going to find the indirect object, which comes to be Daniel, in color blue. Same way, we are going to find that in the number 3, if I ask the question what, to the verb, we find letter, and to whom, in color blue, my dad, which is the indirect object. Check this out. In the second one, I don't have any color blue, so I don't have any indirect object in the sentence. By asking the question what, we are going to find Bob's book. But Bob doesn't come to be here, the indirect object, because Bob cannot be answered as the question to whom. Now check, this is important. On page 21 from your grammar textbook, you're going to find more rules and further information about this. And you should develop pages 78 and 79 from workbook section to practice a little bit more. For further information, people, I will be giving you instructions to work later and to join a meeting through Zoom, in which one we are going to find then more explanations and we are going to discuss answers. See you next time.
Purchase your tracks today.